Update, am I the a-hole for denying my wife sex? Original post. So I saw a story similar to this, but I want my own advice. So I'm 34 male and my wife is 32 female, and she had our baby girl who is now almost 3. Now our little girl turned 1. I asked my wife if she was ready for sex or any type of physical connection again, since we barely hug and barely cuddle or even kiss in almost a year. Yes, I do understand she was touched out. So a month later, I hired a babysitter to come 2 days a week. One night for date night, and another for my wife to just have the whole day to herself. I still do this. So I attempted to cuddle her, and she rejected it. She told me she didn't want that, so find some other way to get what I need. So that's what I did. I'm not cheating on her. One, because don't have the energy to do that. I mainly bought myself some toys, and I mainly don't need to cuddle. So now, if she wants a kiss, I give her a kiss but nothing more. If she wants a hug, then I'll give her one. And if she wants to cuddle, we don't. Because after I put our child down, I take a shower and go to sleep. We still do our date nights and all of that. She attempted to have sex with me 2 weeks ago, and I asked her nicely if she could stop, as I wanted to get undressed and take a shower. Then she tried to join me in the shower, so I just got out of it and went to the guest room to shower and locked the door. I told her that I was sorry, but I wanted to take my own shower. She said it was okay. So last week I figured she would try again, so I got her some toys. I told her that these are hers and she can use them for whatever pleasure or need she needed. She said she didn't want that and she wanted me. And I told her that was good and all, but at this moment I don't want her. I would like to watch TV. So this week she decided to ask me what's going on and why I didn't want her. I told her that I would have to want her again. I said I'm not saying I don't find you attractive because I do, but I've been almost 4 years without you. So I've learned how to manage myself. For those wondering how is it 4 years, we didn't have sex her whole pregnancy as she didn't want it, which was fine, and my daughter turns 3 in 2 weeks. She asked if I was punishing her. I told her I wasn't. I don't have the energy to punish her. I said that I would work on it, but give me a few weeks to a few months, unless she just wanted me to have sex with her while thinking of something else. She said she would not like that, and I told her for now just use the toys I got her. So I went out with some friends, and one said I wasn't wrong as she has taught me how to live without her touch, and I just need to get used to it again. And one said to just do her and just think about something else, so that way she can have what she wants. Now, I know I'm going to get comments saying, well, how about you take care of a baby, since she's a stay-at-home mom? I can, and I did. She went to the hospital because she got COVID 2 weeks after our child was born, and so I had to take care of our baby alone for almost a month. And then she got it again 3 months later, so then I took care of our baby for 2 weeks. Then, every year for her birthday, I get her a 2-week-long vacation. People would ask, well, is childcare only on her? And I think I said it before, but when I get home, I usually take care of our child at night. So, am I the a-hole though? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Couples therapy like yesterday. If you don't do therapy, then just get divorced for Pete's sake. Too tired is not the right reason to not punish. This sounds like a grudge. 4 years of rejection? This guy could just be over it. It happens. He has new coping skills now. He should probably cut bait, but get therapy for himself so he doesn't go through life like that. I'm a mom, and operating on the assumption is telling is accurate, and I have to wonder what she expected. 4 years is a very long time. That bedroom isn't just dead, it's fossilized. Pregnancy plus almost 3 years old, almost 4 years without intimacy, not even cuddling. 4 years of OP's wife refusing him. Maybe OP wanted sex. Doesn't look like OP wants sex now. Therapy was needed 3 years ago. Now is the wife the one that should work hard, as she is the one that refused OP for almost 4 years. I reckon OP's wife just wants another baby. It will all grind to a halt again once she's conceived. Not the a-hole. The reason I'm going for this and not no a-holes here is because it's been 4 years. If it's been 4 years where you can't even give your partner or spouse a hug or a cuddle, then you can't expect to get what you want when you want after those 4 years. Might be a little biased because I had a conversation about this with my partner a couple of weeks ago. We have 3 kids. I understand being touched out, but I got some bad news recently and I couldn't even get a hug. She later told me that she just couldn't be bothered with a hug, so I just stopped being any type of physical with her. Being told you can't have a hug when you're crying by the person you love the most, and later being told it's because they couldn't be bothered, is soul-destroying. You can't ignore basic intimacy for years and expect things to be the same the moment you want that intimacy again. The damage is done. You have to put in the work. I'm not talking sex. Don't have sex if you don't want to have sex. That's absolutely fine. But if you're at the point you're denying your partner a cuddle or a hug for years, what are you expecting? Exactly this. I was married for 21 years, but we only had sex the first 5 years. He came back from Iraq, injured. He stopped holding my hand, stopped hugging or kissing me, stopped cuddling in bed, etc. He had stopped doing those things because he thought it would lead me to think I needed something he couldn't give me. He didn't want to make things harder for me than they already were. It devastated me. I told him I could live without sex, but not intimacy. I wasn't worried about what he couldn't do. I could take care of that need all by myself. I was worried about what he could still do that he wasn't. I needed him to show me that he still loved and cared for me. It was a game changer. We started holding hands again, hugging and kissing, etc. To say that our relationship thrived is an understatement. It brought us closer than ever. He learned that I could be trusted beyond a shadow of a doubt, to never cheat on him and leave him for something that wasn't his fault. I learned that he could be trusted to listen to my concerns and take them seriously. A man that can do that is very sexy to me. It was hell for a few years before we were finally able to come to terms with our new normal. But if it's already there, love will find a way. It's hard work, ain't gonna lie about that, but it can be overcome if both partners really listen to each other and take the necessary steps to fix the problem. My husband passed away in 2019 after a 7-year battle with cancer. He didn't lose that battle because the cancer died when he did, so technically it was a tie. He used to joke, if this thing is taking me down, then I'm taking it with me. I don't regret any of the hell we went through, because we went through it together. The fires of hell forged our bond. It became strong as steel and damn near unbreakable. Do the work, people. I promise you it's worth it. Now for the update. Hello, people. So I'm back to give you all an update. Me and my wife are divorcing. So basically, we had a conversation which ended up arguing, and so I gave her some options. An open marriage, divorce, therapy, or she just lets me wait till my attraction for her came back. She said she would just want an open marriage on her side, which I was fine with. I didn't really care. She got mad I would let other men bed her with my permission. Then she admitted she had been cheating on me, so all of you who said that were right. So I told her that we could go ahead and get a divorce. She was upset and begged and asked how I was going to allow open marriage, but then divorce her because she was cheating. I told her because we never agreed to an open marriage when you were cheating, that's why. I have filed for divorce, and we have been splitting my daughter since she has moved back into some friend's house. So that's an update for you all. Yikes. Yeah, she neglected you by giving all your affection to someone else, but then got mad when you did the same. Withdrawing affection, not the cheating part. Hope the rest of Reddit sees this. All these teenagers jump to giving years of space to the poor overworked spouse. It's all perspective. She wasn't overtouched, she just didn't want the husband. I'm wondering if there will be another update with her pregnant, agreeing with all the Redditors that said she only wanted sex now because she got knocked up by the side dude. DNA test the kid, just for a sure thing. Jesus Christ, man. Just damn. I can't believe how some people are like this. Honestly, I am terrified of marrying anyone now. Like, I am both really inclined to date and create a family, and at the same time just shut down and never want any of that again. Like, just reread the posts and your reply. How messy is this situation? He now has to figure out if his daughter is actually someone else's daughter. To a wife who, 1, cheated with no regard, 2, denied sex to him until he lost attraction, 3, got really upset and did not give him space to work on himself and his attraction to her. 4, was the one who wanted an open marriage. 5, was also the one who got really butthurt that he would let her bed other men. 6, was also the one who bedded other men, with zero regard for whether he would let her do it in the first place. 7, was also the one who victimized herself and started begging. And in the middle of all of it, there is a poor kid who wants nothing but a normal family and love from her parents. Like there has to be a hot room in hell for people like that, and these people really scare me now. On the plus side, I used to think matters are always best resolved between involved parties, with therapy and counseling, with advice as a contingency to the former not working. Now, freaking hell. Imagine where this guy would be if he didn't have you people helping him out. You are all ace. I guess I'm just ranting and terrified though. You just need to be incredibly deliberate and careful in who you tie your life to. I went through the process of dating in a methodical way to find the absolute nicest person that I could. There is no other decision in life that affects your future happiness more than who you choose as a partner. I realized that and didn't take the process lightly. I got therapy, read relationships self-help books, read psychology books, and didn't base my decision on fleeting emotional or physical attraction. In the end, I got the best husband I've ever seen or known. So yes, it is scary, but you can mitigate the risk. Last story. Is it cruel to flirt with another man in front of my husband purposefully? Tom and I have been together for 8 years, married for 2 months. He is handsome, funny, quirky, and a wonderful conversationalist. Just perfect for me, really. We go dancing, jogging, visit galleries, and cook together. He is so sensual and loving. It's astounding, and there's never a dull moment with him. I'm fond of his mom, and he has welcomed my folks as his own family too. We rarely argue most of the time, except on one topic. Tom had a close friend who on multiple occasions he's described as his best friend. Let's call her Julia. Originally, Tom tried to ask her out years ago before he met me, but she turned him down. They bonded over work. They had back and forth that seemed impenetrable, as whenever I tried to join in, Julia would give me these droll blank stares. She was somewhat flirtatious with Tom, stroking his biceps when he flexed it, suggesting they should work out together. She also made somewhat insensitive comments that have really upset me. Whenever I tried to bring this up, Tom hand-waved it as banter, that I was overthinking, insisting that it was in good faith, but I was never so sure. I tried to chat to Julia one day when Tom left the room, and she just muttered, "I hate small talk," and started scrolling on her phone. Another time I was talking to her, she just muttered, throughout the entire conversation in a very bored tone, and demonstratively yawned. The final straw was when she escalated her behavior from immature jabs to a prank that was primarily done to humiliate me. It didn't physically hurt, but it was emotionally devastating in a way that caused so much hassle that me and Tom had to go to marriage counseling for it. He also more or less stopped talking to Julia because of it. At first, he was really defensive and kept claiming Julia's behavior is primarily just edginess that I'm misconstruing as having more sinister intentions. But the marriage counselor has pointed out that his repeated invalidation has weighed on our marriage, and its impact will take a while to be lifted, and that the primary way to heave that weight will be to trust my impressions if I believe that something is up. After a particularly heated counseling session, he was agreeing with a lot of the talking points our counselor was making, but he was still insistent that Julia had no feelings for him. I said that given her past behavior, it's very likely she holds some sort of torch for him regardless of whether she admits to it or not. He told me that I was reading too much into it, and I was absolutely livid. It was as though he learned nothing from our sessions. To put it across to him more aggressively, I waved over a stranger in fitness gear, complimenting his muscles. I asked him where he worked out, and when he answered, I told him we could meet up and work out together one day, with a wink. When he left, Tom was enraged and demanding that I explain myself. But I told him that the explanation was right there in my behavior. He was furious, understandably so, but it was the only way he could understand the severity of my pain, to experience it himself. He then shouted that what I did was specifically done to flirt, whereas Julia was likely not intending that at all. I called BS, stating that it's the exact same thing, regardless of intention. If I'm perfectly honest, it frustrates me that even to this point, he's still defending her months down the line. Am I being the a-hole here? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Your husband is being intentionally and willfully blind to Julia's behavior and effectively encouraged it. You gave him a taste of how that feels and looks, after trying so many other methods. Not the a-hole, and your husband has a thing for Julia. He always has had a thing for Julia, but she turned him down. He feels torn now because he is with you, but if he acknowledged Julia might want him, then he might be tempted to go to her. Your marriage is pretty much over. Saddest part is Julia will get what she wants and then dump him. OP's husband will destroy an established relationship for ego's sake. Sad. Not the a-hole. What is wrong with these girl best friends antagonizing the girlfriend and the guy remains oblivious and defending behaviors like this? Are men really this dense? And even if they're indeed so emotionally immature they cannot recognize it, how is it okay to dismiss and not recognize their supposed person telling them about their hurting and just doing nothing about it until crap hits the fan? Why? I'm curious what the prank was that broke the camel's back for you. Only because I cannot fathom after all this disrespect she showed you. What else could she do that was even more awful? Good luck, friend. She damaged a dress of mine apparently in accident and was too ashamed or embarrassed to apologize. When she was given a chance, she sent a disgusting present that made it finally sink in for Tom that she was treating me like sneaker residue. Afterwards, Tom has been firmly no contact with her. Not the a-hole, but you will be the a-hole if you stay and keep letting this man turn you into someone who resorts to games and flirting with other men to get your point across. You should not have to beg your husband for understanding, nor should you have to sink to his level to help him understand your pain. He knows it hurts you, and he doesn't care. You should have left your husband years ago. He is having an emotional affair. The fact that Julia plays into it is appalling, but you can only control your relationship with him. The longer you stay, the more it affirms to him that you will tolerate him letting his relationship with another woman destroy your marriage. Julia is no longer in the picture, luckily. She's went with a whimper rather than a bang, but the damage still lingers. You're absolutely right there. It's something we've discussed in counseling numerous times. It's not something that I plan to do on a bi-weekly basis. Turning on the coquette is charm at all, but I felt like Tom needed a context of how that behavior from a woman would when it's not going his way, if you know what I mean. In a way, I think you're not giving him enough credit for his awareness of your feelings. You raised the issue several times and explained that it upset you. He hand-waved your concerns and refused to actually hear what you were saying. You didn't need to show him anything that he already knows. He had all the information and decided that banter was more important to him than his wife feeling insecure in your marriage. Julia would have never been able to humiliate you if your husband had taken action and set boundaries with her long ago. He enjoys the attention. The only reason he is upset now is not because he has seen how hurt you are. It's because he had a taste of the humiliation and disrespect that you've been dealing with for months. He is selfish and does not respect your feelings.